Hello, children. Let us start our next lesson, that is the 100 Dresses Part 1 from our book The First Flight. This story is written by Albizar Esther. This story is taken from the Polish American community in United States. Polish American community means the people who had immigrated to United States. Those who people belong to Poland, those who migrated to United States. It's a story of a Polish girl, how she is bullied in the school by her classmate. So I think let's start reading the story. Today, Monday, Wanda Petrosky was not in her seat. See the name. Name is Wanda Petronovsky. So, children in her class used to make fun of her name as well as of her clothes. Now, see what happens. Today, Monday. It was Monday. Wanda was not in her seat. She was not there in her seat. But nobody, even Peggy and Madeline, the girls who started all the fun, noticed her absence. Nobody noticed her absence, even Peggy and Madeline. These were the two girls who bullied her, who started bullying her, and they started all the fun. They started all like making fun of her. They both started making fun of her. They were the first to start this thing. So they even did not notice Vanda's absence. Usually, Wanda sat in the next to the last seat. Usually, Wanda sit in the seat next to the last seat. Next to the, but not on the last seat, but which was next to the last seat. In the last row in the room number 13, in the last row seat which was next to the last seat, she used to sit there. She sat in the corner of the room where the rough boys who did not make good marks sat. She occupied a seat for herself in that corner of the room where the bad boys, or you can say the rough boys, used to sit. Rough in the sense, or bad in the sense, those who did not score good marks. And what else was there in that corner? What was the specialty of that corner? Let's read that. Who did not make good marks sat. The corner of the room where there was more scuffling of feet, where there was the loudest noise of the made by the dragging of the feet. So she sat at that corner of the classroom where the students, those who sat there, or the boys who sat there, they made loudest of noise by dragging their feet on the ground. Most roars of the laughter when anything funny was said, and from that corner of the class, a loudest of noise of laughter came when there was when any funny thing was said in the class or talked in the class, and most mud and dirt on the floor. And in that corner of the classroom, there was the most mud and dirt on the floor. Vanda did not sit there because she was rough and noisy. Because she was rough and noisy, she did not sit there because of these two things. On the contrary, she was quiet. On the contrary, she was very quiet and rarely said anything at all. In opposite to that, she was very quiet and she hardly uttered a word in the class. And nobody had ever heard her laugh out loud. And nobody ever heard her laughing loud in the class. Sometimes she twisted her mouth into a crooked sort of smile, but that was all. Sometimes she simply passed a small hair. Crooked does not mean that bad smile. It means justly a making, twisting the face and making a make and smile. That smile was called crooked hair. Nobody knew exactly why Wanda sat in that seat. unless it was because she came all the way from Boggins Height. Boggins Height was the name of the place where she lived. So nobody knew exactly why Wanda was fond of that last seat, why she usually sat there. People thought because she came from Boggins Height, and her feet were usually caked with dry mud, and her feet were usually covered with dry mud. But nobody really thought much about Wanda Petnowski once she sat in the corner of the room. Once she settled in the corner of the room, nobody thought of Wanda. The time when they thought about Wanda was outside of school hours, at noon time, when they were coming back to school, or in the morning, early before school began. The time when they thought of Wanda was when in the afternoon, when they went back from school to their home, and in the morning before the school began. That those These were the time when children thought of Vanda, when others thought of Vanda, or when her classmates thought of her. When groups of two or three or even more would be talking and laughing on their way to schoolyard. It was the time, which time they thought of Wanda? When it was the time for them to come to school, when they were talking in the group of four or five or even more and laughing on their way to schoolyard. Then sometimes they waited for Wanda to have fun with her, and sometimes they waited on their way also to make fun of Wanda. See, children, what type of mentality her classmates were having for her, how difficult it might be for her to survive there. The next day, Tuesday, Vanda was not in school. Again on Tuesday, she was absent, and nobody noticed her absence again. And again, nobody noticed her absence. But on Wednesday, Peggy and Maddie, who sat down front with other children who got good marks and who did not track in a whole lot of mud, did notice that Wanda wasn't there. Now, Peggy and Maddie, the two girls mentioned in the beginning of the lesson, those who started making fun of Wanda, they noticed her absence. Peggy was the most popular girl in the school. Out of Peggy and Maddie, Peggy was the most popular girl in the school. She was pretty. She had many pretty clothes and her hair was curly. Why she was very much popular? She was popular because she was pretty, she had many clothes, and her hair were curly. Maddie was her closest friend. The reason Maddie was her closest friend. The reason Peggy and Maddie noticed Vanda's absence was because Vanda had made them late to school. Why did they notice Vanda's absence that day? Because Vanda made them late for the school. How? Vanda was not there. Though she made them late for the school, how was that possible? Because they waited on the way to school for Vanda so that they could make a fun of her. They had waited for Vanda to have some fun with her, and she just had not come, but she did not come that day. They often waited for Vanda Petnowski to have fun with her. They always waited for Vanda to come so that they can make fun of her. Vanda Petnowski, most of the children in the room 13 did not have names like that. Here it is clearly mentioned that children had the mentality that her name was strange, or she had a strange name. They had names easy to say like Thomas, Smith, Alan. There was one boy named Bounce, Willie Bounce, and people thought that was funny. Again, there was one more boy in their class whose name was Willie Bounce, and people thought it was funny. But not funny in the same way that Petnowski was. But it was not that funny as they thought Wanda's name was for them. Wanda did not have many friends. She came to school alone and went home alone. She always wore a faded blue dress that did not hang right. See, here the description of her clothes. Why children bullied her? This is the reason, because she always wore the same dress. There she has one blue faded dress which she always wore. That is why children, because of her name also, because of her clothes also, children made fun of her. Vanda did not, sorry. She always wore a faded blue dress that did not hang right. It was clean, but it looked as though it had never been ironed properly. She did not have any friends, but a lot of girls talked to her. Though she was not having any friend, but many girls talked to her. What they talked to her? Let's see that. They surrounded her in the schoolyard as she stood watching the little girls play hopscotch on the worn hard ground. When Vanda was in her schoolyard, seeing the little girls playing the hopscotch in the schoolyard on the hard ground, few girls came and surrounded her. Vanda, what they would talk? They would talk Vanda. Who's going to say now? Peggy. Peggy would say in a most courteous manner, as though she were talking to Miss Mason. Vanda, she would say, giving one of her friends a nudge. Just to nudge here means just with the elbow when you hit someone to, when you want to someone to look in a particular direction and you do not want to make sound, that time you just do an action, that is hitting the person with your elbow. It was that action, nudge. Tell us, how many dresses did you say you had hanging up in your closet? Now what was their question to Vanda? Their question to Vanda was, how many dresses was she having in her closet? Closet is almirah. 100, Vanda would say. What was Vanda's answer to that question? Her answer was 100 dresses. 100, exclaimed all the little girls incredulously, and the little ones would stop playing hopscotch and listen. All the girls which were there, when they heard this word 100, they all were surprised, and on hearing this number 100, the little girls who were playing hopscotch, they also stopped playing. Yeah, 100, all lined up, said Wanda. Wanda said that in her closet she has 100 dresses and all are lined up, or all are hanging in the hangers in the closet. Then her thin lips drew together in silence. Then she put her lips together and became quiet again. What are they? All silk, I bet, said Peggy. Peggy again, as they were making fun of her. The next question came to Wanda was, I hope they all are silk. They all are made up of silk. Yeah, all silk, all colors. Now Wanda replied, yes, all silk, all colors. Velvet too. Then somebody asked, velvet too? Velvet dresses too? Yeah, velvet too. Then Wanda answered, yes, velvet too. 100 dresses, Wanda would repeat stolidly. Here, stolidly means having any, without showing any feeling, or without just a blunt answer. She answered them bluntly that yes, 100 dresses. And then, before she would gone very far, they could not help bursting into shrieks and peals of laughter. Even after answering all those questions, when they were done with Wanda, Wanda leaves that place and moves further. They see that Wanda has not gone so far, but immediately they burst into laughter. They start laughing. 100 dresses. Obviously, the only dress Wanda had was the blue one she wore every day. 100 dresses, really a strange question. Really, 100 dresses. She has only one dress which she every day wore to school. So why did she say that she had 100 dresses? Why did she answer in such a way? What a story. How many shoes did you say you had? 6 pairs, all 60 pairs, all lined up in my closet. Cries of exaggerated politeness greeted this, all alike. Then now, again, the girls started laughing, and this asked her, do you have all the shoes? Do you have all the same type of shoes, same color and everything? Now Wanda's answer, oh no, every pair is different, all colors, all lined up. Peggy, who had thought up this game, and Maddie, her inseparable friend, were always the last to leave. Everybody left the schoolyard, but only Peggy, who started up this game, and Maddie, who was her inseparable friend, they were the last one to leave the school, or the place where Wanda was standing. Finally, Wanda would move up the street. Finally, she would also move, her eyes dull and her mouth closed, hitching her left shoulder every now and then in the funny way she had, finishing the walk to school alone. And then they all will come to school. Slowly, Wanda will come to school, moving by hitching. What is hitching? Hitching means jerking her shoulder. Every now and then, she used to jerk her shoulder in a funny way, and finally, she come to school. Peggy was not really cruel. Peggy, who was not really Peggy, was not really cruel. She protected small children from bullies. She had a kind heart. She protected the small children from bullies. And she cried for hours if she saw an animal mistreated. This shows that Peggy was not really cruel. She has a kind heart. If anybody had said to her, don't you think that this is cruel way to treat Wanda? She would have been surprised. Cruel? Why did the girl say she had 100 dresses? Then, in case of Wanda, she did not have that type of emotions, or you can say feeling. When somebody asked her, the way you treat Wanda, is that not bully or is that not cruel? She would answer, this is not cruel, because why Wanda would have to tell a lie to them? According to Peggy, uh, she was not at all cruel towards Wanda, because she was she had a feeling that why Wanda would have to tell a lie about her dresses, about her shoes, and all these things. Why did she want to lie? And she wasn't just an ordinary person, else why did she have a name like that? And why is she not an ordinary person like other people over there, and why she has such a strange name? Anyway, they never made her cry whenever they bullied her, but they knew their limits and they never made her cry. As for Maddie, this business of asking Wanda every day how many dresses and how many hats, and for Maddie, this series of question which she had every day for Vanda, that how many dresses does she have and how many hats does she have and how many this and that that she had was bothering her. Maddie was little worried, not worried actually. She was having a guilty feeling about the questions he used to ask every day Vanda. Maddie was poor herself. Maddie was also a poor girl. She usually wore somebody's hand me down clothes. She usually wore the clothes which were handed over to her by someone, like second hand clothes, you can say. Thank goodness she did not live up on the Boggins height or have a funny name. She was thankful to God that she does not have a funny name and she did not live at Boggins height. Sometimes, when Peggy was asking Wanda those questions in that mocking, polite voice, Maddie felt embarrassed and studied the marbles in the palm of her hand, rolling them around and saying nothing herself. Sometimes, when Peggy was busy asking Wanda the different types of question or mockingly asking her different types of question, Maddie that time did not get involved. She was embarrassed. She was embarrassed at that time, and she used to just ignore those questions. What she did, she used to roll the marbles which were in her palms. She used to roll them down, and she did not get involved in all those things. Not that she felt sorry for Wanda exactly. She was not feeling sorry for Wanda exactly, but she would never have paid my attention she would never have paid any attention to Wanda if Peggy had not invented the dress game. She would never have paid any attention to Wanda if Peggy had not invented the dress game. Then they would have not given any attention to Wanda. If Peggy would not have invented the dress game, they wouldn't have given any attention to Wanda. But suppose Peggy and all others started in on her next. What will happen if they leave Wanda? Why was she not exactly sorry for Wanda? Because she thought that if they would not tease Wanda, then she herself will be the next target for Peggy and other girls or other children. She would be. Who would be the next target? Maddie would be the next target for other children and for Peggy. So she thought it's better they are busy with Wanda. She wasn't as poor as Wanda, perhaps, but she was poor. She was not that poor as that of Wanda, but she was poor. Of course, she would have more sense than to say she had 100 dresses. And even she was thinking if somebody would ever ask her about the dresses, she would not answer the like as Wanda did by answering the question 100 dresses. She would use her mind to answer the question. Still, she would not like for them to begin on her, and still she would not like if they start with her. She wished Peggy would stop teasing Wanda Petnowski. She was thinking in her heart that Peggy should stop teasing Wanda. Today, even though they had been late to school, Maddie was glad that she had not had to make fun of Wanda, though they were late. But this time, Maddie had a good feeling that this time that day they do not need to stop on their way. Sorry, not to stop actually, they do not need to make fun of Wanda. She worked her she worked her arithmetic problems absent-mindedly. 8 times 8, let's see. She wished she had the nerve to write Peggy a note. That day she was little nervous. She was thinking to write a note to Peggy because she knew she never would have the courage to speak right to Peggy to say. Why did she want to write a note to Peggy? She wanted to write a note to Peggy because she would never have that courage to open her mouth up in front of Peggy. So she thought of writing what she had in her mind. What she was supposed to write, hey Peggy, let's stop asking Wanda how many dresses she has. When she finished her arithmetic, she did start a note to Peggy. Then when she finished her mathematics problem, she started writing a note to Peggy. Suddenly she paused and shuddered, and suddenly she stopped and thought. She pictured herself in the schoolyard, a new target for Peggy and the girls. Now, what was the scene? Why did she stop abruptly? She shuddered, stopped abruptly. Why did she stop? She thought. Now she started imagining herself as Wanda standing in the herself as in the standing in the schoolyard, Peggy and other children teasing her or making fun of her or as their new target. Peggy might ask her where she got the dress that she had on, and Maddie would have to say it was of Peggy's old ones that Maddie's mother had tried to disguise with new trimmings so no one in room 13 would recognize it. So now she was thinking if somebody by chance if they would happen to ask her how many dresses or where did she get this dress? She definitely have to say the truth, and she have to admit that this dress has been handed over to her by Peggy, and which her mother tried to change a little bit by trimming it so that nobody recognizes that this dress is given to Maddie by Peggy, or this is Peggy's old dress. If only Peggy would decide. So children, let us stop here only. Next time we will do the rest part of this lesson. Thank you.